what they do with this victim restitution is if they have a job in the jail, they essentially garner all that from the books and they garner that from the prison wages. This is only an issue, guys, because the prosecutor came off death. He's not on death row, which means he is a part of a prison where he is capable one day of working and earning money. The idea that Kohberger would fight that is, legally, I understand it. I understand the reasons why they're doing that. But just as a human, my heart just breaks for those families that they have to go through this process. And look, the judge made exactly the right call, as this judge did throughout the proceedings, in my opinion. He said, no way, buddy, you're on the hook for that. Of course you have to pay. And you got $28,000 now that people have donated. And that's the Kohberger group, by the way, guys, the Kohbergers, the people in America that came out in favor of Bryan Kohberger, that were convinced of his innocence. And it's like, I heard a great quote recently. A guy said, I think it was Joe Rogan, said, if you have any room with 100 people, at least one of them is an idiot. And when you extrapolate that out to 340 million people in America, that means there's hundreds of thousands of genuine idiots out there. And anybody who would put money on Bryan Kohberger's books, I'm sorry, in my view, is an idiot.
Mark, Judge Hippler noted that Kohberger received $28,360.96 in donations while in custody before he went to the prison system. So that seems like a lot to be on your book, so to speak, for commissary. But you've been on both sides of plea deals. You've been a prosecutor, you're, of course, a defense lawyer. We have a saying that a card laid is a card played. So if you make an agreement on behalf of your client to plead guilty with certain terms, and then your client accepts it and then receives the sentence and then wants to back out of that, it would seem to me that maybe he needs to find a different lawyer to try to get out of that piece of it. Because if it were me, I would have had a problem with it. I would have said, look, you agreed to this. This is part of what we agreed to. My name is on that plea document too, and I'm not going to back out of it, especially if it causes harm to the families of the victims. This causes them pain, and I think it goes beyond, in my personal opinion, what the duty we have of being a zealous advocate is. It goes beyond that.